how fast these things move. When I saw the one in the middle of the road, this motherfucker was in the middle of the road. And you got to think a double wide road with a ditch and trees. He went from the middle of the road to the wood line in like a split second. These things are fast. And once you see it in person, it's not normal how fast these things are. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the next one. Bigfoot sighting in 1998. This is Menifee, Morgan County, Kentucky, the Daniel Boone National Forest. Having lived in this area for more than 4 years, I'd become accustomed to and familiar with driving my Honda Foreman in and around the Daniel Boone National Forest. I was 22 years of age and was dating a local girl who had lived in the country her entire life. We will call her Pam. We left my house one October night, traveled to the end of my ridge road, which is gravel, then continued on the dirt logging road, no longer in use at the time, which is privately owned. This road, of course, was wide enough to have at one time accommodated trucks and machinery used for logging. The old road goes on for maybe a mile to a mile and a half eastward before splitting into three separate roads, each having several arteries branching from them. We stayed on the eastward path that runs into the Daniel Boone National Forest. From this point, there is an old horse trail that the locals use for their equine excursions. We have traveled the entire horse trail and all the logging roads many times. I felt intimately familiar with every nook and cranny these paths offered. Pam and I motored down the horse trail at a leisurely pace due to the narrowness of the trails amongst the thick forest trees. This, coupled with many twists and turns of the horse trail, one could rarely exceed 8 to 10 miles an hour. I know this because the ATV has a digital miles per hour readout with the backlit for night travel. After 200 to 300 yards, we came upon a small pond that sits on the south side of the trail. This was our favorite spot of mine. Many times I would travel to this spot at night and turn off my lights and engine. I just sit and gaze at the stars, take in all the smells and sounds of the forest offers. I saw my first shooting star while gazing up into the fall sky the year before in this very spot. The small circular pond sits in a very tiny clearing in the forest just off the horse trails, with the tree line only about 20 feet from the water's edge, all the way around. I pulled around to the side of the pond opposite the trail under a clear and half moonlit sky. I turned off the engine and lights. I was oblivious that we had just parked near an entity that did not want us there. Fortunately, before